Okay, all right, welcome. We're live here. Look, you went through day 4. That's a big day, right? I mean, most of you felt the feeling of, hey, I could keep going. All right, there was probably some little differences towards the end of the day. Some of you, and I think I read some of this, feeling cold. What is that all about? I'm feeling cold, right? Well, the body is conserving its energy in a fasting state. I mean, it does some really clever things, but what's it doing with that energy? It's diverting the energy for healing, and oftentimes we feel cold. Very normal that you feel cold. So again, pulling the energy from different places, and remember, it doesn't need to fire up the engine to burn all this food, right? So you may in fact have that cold feeling, but trust me, it's diverting the energy to heal somewhere else. So many of you may have felt that, right? Where many of my fasts, I always felt my kidneys, and I'll tell you, I really did a number on my kidneys, years of being mercury toxic. And so, it's not like I ever had kidney symptoms or felt them ever until I would fast, meaning that there was some healing that needed to be placed, that needed to be done, really. And again, your body's doing all these other things, and all of a sudden it has extra energy. So it's like when you have time off work, right? And your wife gives you the honey-do list. Now all of a sudden you have time and energy to do these things, and you start doing them. You actually get some things done reluctantly, but your innate intelligence doesn't reluctantly get it done. It takes that energy, fires up, and starts that healing. So many of you have definitely felt that. I mean, it may be old injury from high school, the knee, who knows? But, I typically have that spot that I feel that my innate intelligence knew that it could take that extra energy and dial it into healing something like that. So that kind of stuff is really fun. Look, your sleep, some of you I hear, you need less sleep. Very normal, right? That's typically me. I just need less sleep. I'll sleep maybe 5-6 hours, boom, I'm ready to go in my day. Again, your body has plenty of extra energy without the need to digest and assimilate food. So that's absolutely a normal finding as well. This is an important video, and I'm going to keep going here as we get some people, because I want to talk about how to break the fast. Warning, you could ruin all the benefits and healing that I've been telling you is going on if you don't break this fast correctly. So, very important video to share with everybody. You have to, please, everyone you know that's fasting, share the video, because I've watched these benefits go south very quickly. So we'll get to that in a minute. Most of you did in fact break through, and I hope you had fun. If you didn't see last night's video, definitely watch it. How to know if you're crossed over into that 1-to-1 ratio of glucose and ketones, the target ratio as it's called, to know if you're in max autophagy, right? We want to know if we're in max autophagy and going beyond max autophagy, because we want to know if we're eating all those bad cells out, those senescent cells, meaning that they're living too long, immune cells, body cells, muscle cells that aren't recovering, all of those cells, we want to know if we're getting rid of them. So make sure you watch that video on how to know. And many of you are reporting some amazing numbers that you're beyond max autophagy, which is awesome, right? So again, we want to maximize even ketones, let alone max autophagy. We want to see glucose dropping massively and ketones rising. So all that in that video. So here is another important thing for day 5, right? Okay, so what to expect day 5. By the way, I'm telling you how to break the fast tonight so you can actually go shopping tomorrow, because I think last time I told you how to break the fast, it was like, okay, it was already too late. I didn't know what to buy at the store. So that's why I'm doing break the fast tonight. Tomorrow night, I'll actually be in Nashville, Tennessee. That is actually the place where I'm having my next seminar, but I'm actually there for another seminar, not my seminar. My seminar is a month from now. By the way, many of you, look, the seminar is sold out, all the hotel rooms. However, you can get live stream. And I heard there was a price reduction because it was sold out. So hopefully my team puts that link back on here to basically get to the seminar or get the live stream anyway. You might be able to get a bed and breakfast. I think some people did do that, or a Airbnb. So that's possible too if you want to see me live and all these other amazing doctors and scientists. So it's going to be a really amazing thing. But you can get the live stream. So check for that here. Make sure you do, because that's going to be great. Anyway, tomorrow night I'm going to be in Nashville for another seminar. But I'm still going to do a video. And there'll be no doubt an inspirational message tomorrow night. So stay tuned. As I will be on the East Coast, but I'm going to do it right around the same time, 8 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Mountain Time. But I'm telling you tonight how to break the fast so you can actually go shop and get some food for tomorrow. So hopefully Marilee comes home, because there's also an update on the baby we've been praying for. So I'll let her give the update. I did read the email, and basically it was good news. The baby looks normal. The power of prayer. So they thought the baby would have to be aborted, right? That it wasn't going to be normal. We were praying for this baby, so like the baby looks normal. It does look like it doesn't have a kidney. They're doing some genetic testing, but keep praying for this little baby. This baby's going to be a miracle. Y'all are praying for this baby. I know it already. It seems like there's a miracle going on. So there was smiles and hearts all over this email. Thanking you all, by the way, for praying. And I just literally read that email 10 minutes before I got up here. So that is an absolute amazing breakthrough. Listen, I expect breakthrough during this fast for all of you fasting. I expect it. I hope you expect it. Again, God's promises, He meets us in these fasts when we're against these things that are bigger than us, whether it's health, finances, whatever problems we have. Fasting and prayer is the time to break through. And you know what? The early church, they fasted about every decision being made, because that's how they got direction from God. So I know many of you are also getting great direction from God during this fast. So this is no doubt a breakthrough for many, many people. And look, if you're just tuning in now to this, it's not too late for you. Go back. If you go to my fan page, dr.danielpompa, you'll be able to go to videos and scroll through. You can go back a month and watch all the videos on how to prepare for a fast. We don't just run a marathon, we prepare for it to get the best result, even finish, right? That's what it's about, right? And my new book coming out, Beyond Fasting, talks about how to prepare for a fast. All of these things I'm going to teach you in great detail, all kinds of stuff in the book, recipes, etc. That won't be out until my seminar, so another good reason to tune in. But it goes beyond fasting, because this is something that all the lessons I teach you, Marilee and I do all the time. This is the way we live our life. And I didn't share this with you, but we actually did telomere testing. And we both have massively basically lengthened our telomeres, which is a biological clock of your cellular age. So basically at the cellular level, Marilee is a teenager, I'll just say that. And I've gotten 14 years younger. Just again, how does this happen? Fasting lengthens these telomeres and adds healthy years to your life, avoids age-related diseases, and we've done all kinds of things. And I'm going to share, even as we go beyond this, I'm going to continue to share some videos about some of the things that we did that are really transformative. And raising up our stem cells is a big part of that process as well. So anyways, this stuff is a lifestyle. It goes beyond, fasting into everything I've been teaching you for a month to prepare for the fast. So tonight's video is, tomorrow I'm going to remind you as well that this is something you want to continue. So tomorrow night's video, I'll talk about, okay, what next? What after the fast, right? What do I do after the fast? We'll talk about that then. But tonight, how to break the fast. But before I get there, as you all are building up here live, and we're going to get to how to break the fast, but what to expect tomorrow. Tomorrow is an exciting day because according to studies, your stem cells are actually at the highest point, regardless of what fast you're doing. The fasting mimicking diet, the proline diet, partial, or the water, your stem cells are raising up because of all the autophagy, getting rid of these old cells. Your stem cells are raising up to replace them. And these stem cells are going in and finding the areas that need healed. Really cool. And by the way, it just doesn't happen tomorrow. It happens continually. These stem cells remain high and continue to heal. Even we know even a month after a fast, you're still benefiting from the fast. If you do what I tell you to do tomorrow night, right? You want to continue this process. And you want to break the fast correctly. So what I'm telling you to do tonight is critical to make sure that those stem cells, really work for you, not against you, or at least your body work against you. So we want to break the fast correctly. So tomorrow, no doubt, most of you will have absolute breakthrough. No doubt you'll have even more energy, even to the point, those of you who are healthy can even work out. Your growth hormone tomorrow is at a very, very high level. So I think there is a benefit to working out. Not crazy hard, but being able to work out even somewhat, taking that energy now and utilizing it for a workout and really pushing up some of that hormone optimization even further, the growth hormone, the hormone sensitivity even further, and taking advantage of the hormones that are very high at that time. And then, of course, later that day, you'll be able to eat tomorrow. Because that will be your first meal tomorrow night. So so working out could be a benefit. If you're sick, if you have challenges, if you haven't broken through, please don't work out. You don't simply have the energy then, and your energy is just diving into healing. And please remember this too. If you still feel weak, if you still feel beaten down, maybe you're blessed even further, because maybe it's just that place that you need to be right now. To really hear what you need to hear, connect with God to the level you need to connect. So ask Him, what He needs you to hear, honestly. So always take advantage of the times when we're the weakest. Oftentimes those are the times when we're the strongest. So it's not a failed fast. If you're saying, gosh, I don't want to hear you say one more time about people breaking through, because that's not me. Remember, you are where you are for a reason. It could be exactly where you need to be the strongest you need to be. So, listen for those voices. Listen for what God wants to speak to you, and wait and expect breakthrough. Even if you still feel very weak, you could in fact be at the best place of strength. So remember, life is an opposite. So it's oftentimes absolutely paradoxical to what we believe and think. So remember that. All right, let's jump in. Day one, I get this question all the time, so I like to just say, right, yes, you can add your supplements back in if you were doing a pure water fast. No doubt, you can start taking your supplements again day one. And it's best to take them when you eat, because your stomach, your acidity, your digestive enzymes are low. And that's the point of this as well. For 2 days, you have to go lower caloric intake. If you eat a lot of food, you're going to regret it. You're not going to be able to break it down. With low digestive enzymes, acidity, etc., you're going to need to eat less. Small people, maybe 125 pounds, 150 pounds, maybe and under, stick to tomorrow about 500 calories. Okay, so try to stay on the lower end. 150 pounds, is an average weight if you're falling in that range. 500, you could go up to 800 calories, right? So, and then bigger people, you could go up to 1,000 calories. 200 plus, go to 1,000 calories. So just to kind of give you a range, because I'm asked the question. So if you just kind of look at it like that, just staying there. Smaller people, we'll just say 500 to 800. Bigger people, 800 to 1,000, right? And if you're medium, just stay in between there. So just trying to keep it simple for you. It's not an exact science, but the bottom line is, what is an exact science is the fact that you need to eat less, because you can't just throw a lot of food in your stomach. Not a good idea. You could shock the body and knock it out of that nice stem cell production and healing. So we want to keep that going. So less calories. How many days? 2 days. Day 3, back to normal calories. And by the way, if you're eating 500 calories tomorrow, day 2 would be about 800. If you're eating 800 calories, your first, we're talking one meal tomorrow, so just eat one small meal. That's tomorrow night. Okay, so we're really talking Friday, this caloric intake for the day. I do recommend you still eat in your eating window. that we discussed with the intermittent fasting. So go back to your eating window. If it was a 4-hour window, go back to that 6-8 hour window. Go back to your eating window that you were successful with, and eat those 2 meals, if you will, in that eating window. And again, if your first day is 500 calories on Friday, Saturday you'd be about 800. If you were 800 on Friday, Saturday you'd be about 1,000. And then the third day for everyone will be back to your normal caloric intake. So, but still eating in your eating window of intermittent fasting. All right. And moving back into ketosis, very important. So keep your carbohydrates under 50, net carbs. And again, go back and watch the videos on, how to get fat adapted, how to move in ketosis, how to intermittent fast, and also how to do diet variation. So you still want to do the diet variation strategies I taught you. And again, I don't have time here to go through that or tomorrow night, but go back and watch those videos. Okay, so day 1, add the supplements back in. What to eat? No meat yet. No, why? Because your HCl's low. It will, you'll have trouble breaking it down. You're not producing a lot of bile. So no raw veggies. It sounds like raw veggies would be a good thing, but they're actually hard to digest. So we don't want to do that yet. No grains, of course, as they're very hard proteins to break down. So then you're saying, okay, what do I eat, right? So here's just some food ideas. This is by no means a list. I just couldn't fit it all in here, so I'll throw some other things in here. But all your oils are good. Just don't do too much. So, maybe a teaspoon at a time, but butter and ghee, grass-fed butter and ghee are great fats. Coconut oil, great fat. MCT oil, great fat. Macadamia oil, some olive oil. All of those oils are good lasting energy. Some nice soft sweet potato, you can put a little bit of butter on it, very good, or a yam. All your grass-fed yogurts are very good. Avocados, amazing. How about some shakes? All your shakes, you could put in the shake, you could put some berries, a little unsweetened almond milk, right? Some coconut milk in there. That would be a great idea. And you could add a little bit of romaine lettuce because it blends it. You would be okay with it. Even juicing, but only green juice. You could put some berries in the green juice, that's fine. A little bit of carrots, not too much. But juicing would be fine. I don't want you juicing fruit juice. I don't want to shoot your glucose up, but that's why I'm saying be cautious with that. Cooked veggies is okay. Not raw, but cooked, and cook them well. It's easier to digest. Raw nut butter, but don't eat the nuts. The butter's a little easier to digest because it's already broken up, so that would be okay. But do small amounts. I guess I said that. And also small amounts of fermented vegetables. Don't eat too much. But remember, all of your bacteria went down during the fast, good and bad. Here's an opportunity to raise up the good and fix a dysbiosis. So all your bacteria went down during the fast. Now raise up with some grass-fed yogurt, kefirs, and just a little bit of fermented vegetables. You can eat more the second and the third day, of course, but we want these good bacteria to be coming in. Yes, you could start your probiotics, but try to do a different probiotic that you were taking for a long time. You don't ever want to stay on one probiotic too long. I like to rotate bacteria monthly to different ones. I have some really good ones on my website. Proflora is a really good one. MBC is another really good one. Megaspore Biotic is another good one. So just rotate some of the different bacterias. But I love the fermented foods as well to get the bacteria. Some good old cottage cheese, and there's one called Good Cultures is a really good one that my daughter likes. So that is a good one too. Day 2, still no meat. We want to get our HCl back up. And by the way, digestive enzymes are a good idea. Kind of support digestion for the first couple days. Really good idea. Just a broad-based digestive enzyme. Great idea. Still no grain, no raw veggies, but salad seems to be okay for most people on day 2. Okay, same foods as day 1, of course, but you can add some raw nuts and seeds at this point on top of the butter, but just not too many. Eggs you can add, which is a great idea. There's about 7 grams of protein in eggs, so you can start getting your protein in. It's a really good idea. Raw eggs in your shake is a great idea. I prefer it, and just even some Cooked eggs is fine as well. But you can add your coffee back in. Thank God I wrote that on here. Imagine that. I would not do it day one though. Give it one more day. And then, some of you are going to do it anyway. You can add your fats back into your coffee. But so those of you who have hormone adrenal issues, give it a day, honestly. Just ride it one more day. Those of you who don't, go ahead, put it in day one, right? But I know you've been dying to do it. So my wife. And anyways, so some raw cheese, but again, just go easy on it, right? And if you have a problem with dairy in the past, don't add it in, right? I'm just giving you suggestions. And then day 3, you can go ahead and add meat, eggs, all back to normal, and normal calories on day 3 as well. So that is just some ideas. Perhaps my team will put some other ideas up. I know we have some things that we've done in the past with how to break the fast. But okay, so here it is. I already told you this, but stay in ketosis, okay, after day 3. So from day 3 on, keep your carbs under 50. I would ride out ketosis for at least a minimum another month, even 2 months. And then we'll talk about what to do, because diet variation. We don't want to stay in ketosis. We want to move out into a healthier, higher carbohydrate diet after a month or 2. But stay in ketosis 1 or 2 more months more. Intermittent fasting, of course, eat in your window, whatever window you were doing, right? If you were eating in a 4 to 6 hour window, that means you're getting an 18 to 20 hour fast, right? It could be an 8 hour window, and whatever was working for you before, again, you can go back and watch that video. Diet variation, you add in your feast-famine cycles. Remember the 5-1-1? 5 days of regular intermittent fasting in ketosis, 1 day of eating 1 meal, or maybe no meals. That's what I love to do, in 1 feast day. Remember, the feast-famine is very important. The feast days are as important as the fast days. Fasting day, so famine day, feast day. Very important to remind your body it's not starving. You get hormone optimization out of this. And again, 4-2-1, maybe you do 2 fast days a week. I do 2 or 3, 1 meal or no meal, or just maybe a partial meal, 500 calorie meal. All of that, you still stimulate autophagy even in that fasting state. But remember your feast day. And then maybe some of you do better with 2 feast days, so it's a 3-2-2. So just some diet variation options, but if you go back and watch my diet variation video, you'll remember that creates hormone optimization, and it beats every diet every time when you alter diet. So go back to these strategies that you did to get to the fast, and that's how we want to break the fast and how we go on after day 3. Okay, so there's the tips and tricks. And I just saw my wife. She just came in. So maybe she could take some questions if she heard me say that. If not, I would love to take questions, but I can't read them from here because I had to put the camera that way so you can actually see it. It's not backwards. I've done that before, So if she comes in, I'll take some questions. If not, I'm going to have to do a separate video. Maybe I'll take some questions. But yeah, so tomorrow night, hey, you got to hear from Friendle. Merrick, can you read some questions, perhaps? All right, she appeared.
Yeah. Hi, guys. Oh, yeah.
I told them about the baby that they were praying for.
Isn't that awesome?
I know. And
it's encouraging.
It is encouraging, and remember that baby. I mean, they basically said, this is another, failed pregnancy, and might as well abort the baby and that whole thing. And look what prayers are doing.
Already.
We're praying for a normal pregnancy. We're praying for a normal baby is what we're praying for.
Yep. And oh gosh, Moses actually shared something else with me today that I wanted to read because it was so good, but we could maybe save it for tomorrow.
Yeah, so let's save it for tomorrow because I covered a lot of material.
Okay. Would breaking the fast Friday morning instead of Thursday night bring more benefits with the stem cells? Yeah,
you know what, actually, great point. I am always asked that. We do a 5-day fast just to kind of hit that max benefit. And I'm a believer in multiple fasts, right? Even some of my clients, I have them doing some type of fast once a month, fasting mimicking diet, some type of fast, and then every once in a while throwing in a water fast. Some people water fast once a month, maybe too much autophagy, but mixing up the types of fast is oftentimes needed to regain health. Multiple fasts is very helpful. However, with that said, if you have the means, the body tissue to go on longer fasts, especially supervised, can be very beneficial. To answer your question, yeah, one more day, absolutely. Most of you are probably absolutely can do that and ride out some of the stem cell autophagy benefits longer. So, and you've probably seen my Cellular Healing TV where I've interviewed people who've done 20, 22-day fasts, etc. I had a gentleman at one of my seminars a few back. He was on 160 days of water. Now, he was obese and he had lost about 100 pounds at that point. Was off, 14 different medications with his doctor. Obviously, he was supervised. They were looking at his blood, etc. But, amazing. 160 days just on water, and it transformed his life. It lifted his depression. He came off all of his psychotropic drugs. An amazing story. And like I said, obviously he was obese, and incredible outcome. But anyways, go ahead.
Could headaches, I am having headaches, could there be healing going on in my brain which causes them?
Yeah, no doubt. It could be detox too. The fasting trio, the fast tonic, the bind, and the cyto. I've talked about them in the past, but yeah, that could be a big help. Take more of the fast tonic, and adding the cyto and the bind could minimize the redistribution of toxins. We store toxins in fat, and if you're very toxic, you release some of those, and the body just can't deal enough with it. And that's why those three products are really helpful. But to your point, there could be healing too. There is healing.
Is there a chart that shows how many calories is there a chart that shows how many calories, I think that was a typo, a good has, I don't get that. Someone else said they need prayers, and by the way, everyone's praying. Yeah, I hope that those that are faithfully praying, or faithful people, are praying as well for others.
Yeah,
I've asked about when he had stem cells injected and need to know where those were harvested, please. I realize that this answer could be good or disturbing, but as someone who promotes such intense health, I believe it's a valid question that should be answered. We have shows on that topic,
yeah, we have shows on
and from a variety of sources.
The first time I got stem cells done, I took them out of my own bone and fat. This time, it was a donor. They use healthy. It's donated. No babies die, if that's what you're getting at. No, nothing like that. That's old and gone. That doesn't happen anymore. You can use donated umbilical cord. But you have to be really careful. I watch my show on this when it comes out. It's really amazing. The reason why I went to Cancun is because most of the products are just garbage out there, and they're doing studies. So on one of the Facebook Lives, you saw me with the scientist, Rafael Gonzalez. He's doing a lot of the studies here and patenting some of these processes. And it's so critical to get good, viable cells. And they get them and they test them. And in the interview I did with him on my Cell TV, I literally showed their process. It's unbelievably impressive. There's a benefit to using younger cells because they are extremely viable. As we age, we kind of lose some of the viability. I think there's benefits to both. It depends on what you're looking for, but you have to see the shows because I've done a lot of shows on that. And then I talked about the harvesting of natural killer cells in that little Facebook Live I did with Gomez. But they're doing some extraordinary work. Gonzalez. Extraordinary work there.
So someone's glucose didn't go low enough on the 5-day fast. They want to try again. How long should they wait in between until the next one?
Yeah, I mean, I would give it, 3 weeks to a month in between, and then go for it.
What does a white coated tongue after water
Yeah.
fasting mean? After water fast,
Most
it means your
people-
palate. You won't like wine. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Most people do get a white tongue. I think it's very normal. I would say just about everybody. Matter of fact, when you do a long fast, a very prolonged fast, the tongue color kind of shows you what's going on. I mean, it can go to white to yellow to black fuzzy. I mean, and then one of the things when they knew to break a fast was the tongue would all of a sudden go back to pink, and then they knew to stop the fast. So there was different signs, even hunger coming back, the innate intelligence knew to stop the fast when hunger came back. So it's pretty amazing. And again, that's a supervised fast when you're going very long. You have to know what to look for to break the fast. That gentleman that was 160 days, he actually sat in one of my classes where I was teaching, what to look for to break a fast. And he was like, okay, my tongue turned pink, a few days ago. And then he's like, I'm starting to notice that I'm, getting more hungry at different times. And I told him, you know what, it looks like your fast is coming to an end. It was like a few days later that he ended the fast.
What can I do about a stale taste in my mouth?
Rinse with salt water. Honestly, it's the best thing to do.
And at this point, you're so close to the end, I'd just grab your toothbrush and scrub it. Or scrape your tongue. That's all.
Scrape your tongue. I do that.
If I have achieved the 1-to-1 ratio for the first time, and this is my third fast, what is the best way to maintain ketosis, and what numbers should... Oh, you just need to watch some videos. There's so much of that.
Do this. Move right into what I just said.
Yep.
Go back and watch the videos on, intermittent fasting, eating in the window, and the diet variation, very key. So go back and watch those,
I'm not going to comment on numbers because that's all you'll learn as you watch the videos. There's so much information about why numbers do certain things. Stale or metallic. Okay, someone said something about having stale or metal taste.
That's typically a neurotoxic thing. Yes, heavy metals, but also mold. People living in moldy homes often, weirdly enough, get a metallic taste too. So I always just...
Someone said it's a sign their ketones are high.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can have ketones up 9s and 10s and not have metallic.
Yeah, no, right.
Yeah,
we don't.
I never had it, but neurotoxicity, I'm absolutely heavy metals, mercury, and like I said, even mold it's associated with. Keto acid breath is different, and really, you don't get bad breath from ketones alone. You get bad breath. It's a toxic release that happens during ketosis, so they call it keto acid breath.
I think we're good.
All right, awesome, guys. I'll see you tomorrow night from Nashville. And
that's right.
Yeah, I was like, oh yes, that's right. So, anyways, and no doubt, we have something inspirational for you. So I'll see you then.
Good night.
Yep.